Lives Matter has accomplished absolutely nothing. I really can't stress this enough because it really just does feel like this is just an excuse to riot, tear shit up, and do a giant gangbang, essentially. That is the that's the riots. It has nothing to do with George Floyd or anything like that. Like, it's just a bunch of people wanting to go out, loot shit, and pretend to be activists. The hashtag activists, as I've known it. I know so many people who I know are nowhere near around black people. Like, oh, Blackout Tuesday. Hashtag Blackout Tuesday, read more black writers, unlearn racism. Like, it's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life. I am just downright aghast at just, the situation in general, how it's been handled by everyone other than Trump, I would say. Trump is the only person who seems to know what he's doing in this situation. Everybody else, I feel like it's almost intentionally allowing this to happen. Oh, egging on the rioters. We can't have racism in our society. Oh, we have to allow the people to riot and tear shit up and attack people who have nothing to do with what we're doing. No, we're going to allow these people to go out, destroy black-owned businesses, kill black police officers in the interest of protecting black people. Hashtag Black Lives Matter. Holy shit. Holy shit. You are just really, really good job, guys. Really, really stellar. Really, really clever. Like, big-brained strategic moving here. Yeah, we're just going to riot in our own communities and ruin our own job opportunities, our own cities, the people around us. Just unbelievable. I have no sympathy for the rioters at all. I was already very, very annoyed at the weird slanted coverage of the Ahmaud Arbery case, that guy who attacked those guys and got shot. It just the narrative doesn't match up with the reality. Like, police officers are not going out indiscriminately killing black people. They're apprehending criminals. As is their job, and a good portion of criminal activity in the streets is from people in the hood. It's not complicated. Like, oh, why are the cops after us so much? Maybe it's because you're committing so many crimes. I don't understand what's so difficult to understand about this. It's embarrassing. It really, really is. I have no sympathy for the rioters. I have no sympathy for, like, the cause or the agenda. Well, not just the blacks. Like, you have the communists, you have, like, Antifa, you have, like, these white liberals. I already talked a little bit about them. The virtue signalers, people going out there like, oh, we're not racist. We fucking love black people. Just trying to, they want to feel like they're part of a movement. That really all it is. They want to, like, pretend they're part of, like, some societal change and, like, improving society by, again, latching onto a hashtag, doing stupid shit like advocating for abolishing the police. like it's so dumb. It's so ignorant. I have no respect for it at all. This entire situation, man, like, everything about it, like the advocating for it, like, this really needs to be said. Black culture is not cool. Like, rap is not good. Rap is not culture. Rap is not sophisticated. Like, rhyming about, like, how the cops are out to get you because you're out dealing drugs is not art, okay? There's nothing artsy about it. It's just... There's a reason we punish criminals, okay? It's embarrassing. It really, really is. And I do think, Americans of other races, not just white people, Mexicans. Well, I guess Mexicans are technically ethnicity. Asians in particular. Asians, I would say, are almost getting dragged into it, I would say, because one of the cops who was there on the scene of, like, the George Floyd murder, and by the way, George Floyd was murdered, from my understanding. But that just goes to another topic, is, like, the cop who did it is in trouble now, not because of the riots, but whatever. Because of the riots, the cop who did it is probably going to get off because you're pushing for the charge to be higher than it should have been, essentially. I just saw a nice video on that from Nick Rekieta. Check that out. Man, this is just... Man, it's just embarrassing. I do think that, like, Americans of, like, all races and all ethnicities, they really need to put a stop to this protest culture. Protest culture is getting way out of hand, and I do think... we need to put a stop to it, to deter it somehow. The solution I came up with, militias. We need to form civilian militias to sort of, like, force these people to peacefully protest, like real peaceful protests. Like, if things get out of hand, people should have the capacity to defend themselves. And I do think that was the big problem with the riot initially, is that people were not comfortable defending themselves from these people, but they should have been. Again, it's just a matter of preparation and actually really being willing to deal with these people, deal with this shit. And I have no real patience for this, like, at all. I have no respect for it. I have no intention of ever having respect for it. Like, I don't believe the protesters when they say that, like, black people are being victimized by the police. What are you doing to protest? Committing more crimes? It makes me think that, like, the reason you're upset at the police is because you keep getting apprehended for doing this kind of shit. It's just... It's unbelievable. Yeah, I definitely want to see these protesters prosecuted for what they've done. They've definitely overstepped their bounds. They're certainly not peacefully protesting. It's a meme with me at this point. Like, look at these peaceful protesters setting these buildings on fire, beating people up, killing people, black people, right? Like I said, it's not even really about race because, like, of course, a lot of the protesters are, like, you know, these white liberals. If anything, I probably hate those people more than the blacks at this point. It's just like, they're causing problems. Like, you have to acknowledge that these people are not being reasonable with how they're executing their things. You know what I mean? I do feel like we need to stop. A lot of corporations out there are, like, donating these people money, Black Lives Matter money. Don't do it. It's a scam. Like, you don't need to support these people. You shouldn't support these people. They're out there stealing your shit and all. Oh, we got to protect black people. Like, no. If anything, here's the real solution to this. I think black people need to solve their own problems. Like, it's interesting. Like, they're not really... The entire process seems to be about getting that's how they're kind of justifying it. Like, they want white people, Americans at large, right, to intervene and fix all their problems, get rid of these corrupt police officers, all of the police officers, by any means necessary. and it just... You're essentially just not really doing anything to fix the problem. Like, you're not acquiring... Again, I hear them bitching about, like, money problems, financial problems all the time. I don't see them starting businesses. I don't see them trying to make money. I don't even see them working jobs, okay? Do you know how many black guys I've seen come into my workplace, right, and just leave within a couple of days because, it's too boring, man. It's just... No. Like, if you want money, you have to work for it. It's just... That's just the nature. I think they, as a collective, black people as a whole, are too coddled by society. It's been like 60 years since the civil rights movement. Like, they're not being treated this way because of racism. They're being treated this way because of their own actions and how they handle their own problems. It's not unreasonable for the police to, like, go after them due to the kind of shit they pull on a regular basis. You know what I mean? Like, I am very much hashtag I stand with the police in this situation. Blue Lives Matter, you could say. I think that's what the hashtag is. I have it's just a matter, I think, of just holding them responsible for what they're doing. I don't want to see bailouts for these cities. I want to see them pay for their actions. I don't want these people to get stimulus checks. I don't want them to get money out of this. I do want to see them prosecuted. They should be punished. Like, everyone they can catch, really. Like, you don't have to catch all of them. Like, that's probably impractical considering the nature of these riots. But just apprehend them. Just rein them in. Do something, okay? Don't sit there and just let the don't sit there and force the military, the president, to get involved when it really. Damn, I have so much to talk about. Okay, the president, right? Like I said, Trump is based and red-pilled and doing everything he needs to do. But you know, why are people angry at the president for what the police of Minneapolis did? Like, if you have a problem with the police, go protest the police in that city, not in like protest the mayor, protect the like, go after the people who are directly protecting them. Don't go after the president of the entire country. Like, that move, like going after the White House, like, it makes me think like the entire thing is primarily politically motivated. Like, I really think this is the main reason why these Democrat cities are supporting this shit, is that they're trying to ruin Donald Trump. Like, they're trying desperately and failing, if what people have been saying to me is any indication. Like, I have not seen a single Trump supporter say that, like, oh, we need to like vote Democrat in order to end racism. No, we're all sick of this shit. Like, it's gotten way out of hand a long time ago. I'm sick of these people. I'm sick of the things they pull, the disrespect they show to our authority, right? To people who are just doing their jobs in a lot of cases. Blaming everything on racism, which is probably another video topic in general. Like, that's probably the core of this issue. Like, black people blame all of their problems on racism. Like, oh, people only hate us because we're black, man. You know, it's not because of the way we act or what we do or how we behave. It's entirely because, oh, hashtag racism. Just unbelievable. Unbelievable. That really needs to stop. I don't respect that attitude at all. They're just they need to be more responsible. Like, when you get right down to it, that's the core of the issue. They need to be more responsible. Community self-regulation, I think. Black people need to I don't know, man. Hold themselves accountable, sort of make positive changes in their community. Don't resort to riots. Like, don't resort to, like, attacking Mexicans or, like, destroying buildings or looting shit. Like, you know, just, I don't know. Get educated. Do something responsibly, right? Like, make real changes in your community and how things are handled. And I'm not seeing that from these people at all. You know what I mean? Like, if anything, these riots just show me that these people need to be reined in, right? They need to be. We need to protect other people from these individuals. They are putting others at risk. I didn't even get to the whole like virus thing. Yeah, if you're out protesting right now, you're probably spreading the deadly Chinese super virus, man-made in a lab in Wuhan. Like, wow, that's kind of amazing that no one's seriously bringing that up. I mean, if the virus is still a problem, honestly, things are opening up where I am right now, and I haven't heard of any cases, and people still don't know how it's being spread. So, I mean, maybe it's not as big as a deal as we thought it was, but I don't know, man. If that's true, like 2020, like the year of false happenings, you know what I mean? Like if COVID wasn't that big of a deal. Corona wasn't that big of a deal. Trump killing that Iranian general wasn't that big of a deal. Like, I don't believe that this police brutality is some widespread national issue or worldwide issue, I should say, because of all these virtue signaling protests in other countries. No, I don't believe cops are going out like harassing black people purely for the sake of being black. Just like how I don't believe they're harassing me when they stop me for, I don't know, speeding or whatever. Like it's not. They're doing their job. Like that's what they're supposed to do. Like, I am not too impressed with how this situation. I really can't emphasize it enough. Like I've just been like spending a lot of time just scrolling through Twitter, just shitting in all these blue check marks and all these insane people like advocating. The one good thing about this, the one good things about this riot, people can't seriously argue against gun control anymore. Like, oh, you can just call the police if you're in trouble. Yeah, the police are doing so much to stop these crazy riots. The Second Amendment riots, you're supposed to defend yourself. It's so you can defend yourself, right? It's perfectly reasonable, and plenty of people are coming around on that. And I really, really hope this puts an end to like the whole gun control debate, and like a lot of the gun control stuff gets rolled back. That's definitely something I will be pushing towards in my career and in my YouTube videos. Pro Second Amendment rights. We need more guns, not less, for sure. Yeah, definitely. Really, at this point, let these communities burn. They're really, it's interesting. Black people are basically ruining themselves. It's really interesting to watch. Obviously, I don't actually want the worst for black people. I wouldn't want them to do like as well as anyone else. But if they're outright fucking people over or fucking themselves over, like of course I'm going to point that out, right? This is the problem. They're just refusing to take responsibility for their own actions, and they are suffering the consequences of what they have done to themselves. It's not, I haven't done anything to them. We, as a collective, have not done anything to them. The civil rights movement was 60 years ago, and yet you're still expected to act as if these people are being massively oppressed by society. Like, no, that is not the case. It just needs to be more commonly accepted that this is not the route they should take to improve their situation in life.